No one's allowed to make fun of my hair in this video, okay? I've tried my best to contain it, but the air is super dry, right? It's winter in the Midwest, okay? No comments about these flyaways, all right? I've done my best, but at some point, I'm sure they're gonna come unglued. You're not allowed to point it out, okay? Hi, it's me, Jojo. I am so excited to be here this week because this is something I've been wanting to talk about, like my last video, for a long time. This has kind of been a naturally progressing topic in my household, and by in my household I mean between my husband and myself. Also kind of similar to my tomato cider topic, this is something I've been brewing on for a while and slowly adding to it until I felt like I had a big enough list of things that fell into this category that I finally felt ready to share this with you. So a couple years ago for Christmas, I was gifted this deck of cards. Where's the box? I think I left the box in the other room, but these are the cards, right? They are bicycle. I have to sneeze. It's the architecture deck from Bicycle, right? The typical playing card brand. And every card has a different historical landmark on it, whether that is, let's read through some. The people from Easter Island, Chateau Frontenac from Quebec. Never heard of that one. Ooh, the Guggenheim Museum in New York City. I mean, I can just kind of flip through some. Ooh, Burj Khalifa in Dubai, Mexico City. Oh, these are all upside down. Helsinki Central Station in Helsinki, Finland. So as you can see, like not all of these are super well known, but probably over half, maybe 2/3 even, are things that most people have heard of. Like the Eiffel Tower's in here, you know, Machu Picchu's in here. So we started just guessing what the buildings were. We were covering up what they were called and guessing. And we get to one that I think everybody should know, but my husband did not. And I was, to say the least, flabbergasted that he did not know what this was. Hi, Tarzan. Oh, okay, bye. That was fast. So I start giving him hints to kind of get him in the right direction. And I say things like, it sits on a harbor. I've been there before, which really narrows it down. It was in Finding Nemo. It is in Finding Nemo, only for like 2 seconds, but it is in there. All of these things get him to guess that it was, oh no, where did I put it? The Sydney Opera House. So here's the card. I know it doesn't show the whole building, but come on, that's iconic. That's iconic, right? I mean, this actually only shows half of one of the 2 buildings. Did you know that it's 2 buildings? I didn't when I went there. So basically it came down to, is it situationally famous to me, or is it holistically famous to everybody? Does that make sense? So I took it to the only place that all squabbles go to die, and that is Instagram stories. Okay, so on my Instagram story, I posted a picture that I had taken of the Sydney Opera House, and I asked in a poll, yes or no, do you know what this building is? I had 92 responses, and 91% of them said yes, they could confidently tell me they know what that building is. So then I asked, well, what if you don't know what it is, but you could tell me where it is? I had a sample size of 100 on that one, and 95% of people said that they could correctly identify where it is. So far, it's looking pretty bad for Carter. So then I kind of wanted people to back up their claim, so I said, okay, tell me what it's called. So it dropped a little bit in responses. I got 60 people that wrote in what they thought it was, and all but 2 correctly identify that it was the Sydney Opera House, which means 97%, or 96.6 repeating, got it correct. 97%. So, yeah, I think it's pretty universally known. I think this was what I'm going to call a knowledge gap. My husband is one of the most creative, intelligent people that I know, and I think that this Sydney Opera House location fell into a gap in his knowledge because he's not a really visual person. Like, he couldn't really identify cars on the road, even based on their logo. That is something I have actively worked with on him because he has to be able to identify my car and his car. Like, while we were dating, I had to give him pointers to identify my car and what it looks like. I'm not making that up. He's not the only one though with gaps in knowledge, and I've slowly been accumulating some of mine. So I wanted to share them with you, and maybe these are some gaps in knowledge for you as well. So I'm gonna start with something that I believe has probably affected a lot of you, and that is gaps in knowledge regarding phrases that you did not know were rooted in harsh stereotypes or offensive language. Yeah, I know, sounds bad. And one of those is the word gypped. To use it in a sentence, it would be like, oh man, I asked for chips and they gave me bread. Oh man, I feel gypped. So the phrase gypped comes from the word gypsy, which attributes to the people who are gypsies and doing trades with them and being ripped off. That's the stereotype. So I have had to unlearn saying that phrase, and now I just say, oh man, I feel ripped off, and you move on. A similar gap in knowledge that I have is the word fiance. Did you know it has 2 spellings? I sure as heck did not. So fiance with 1 E is for masculine people that are engaged, and fiance with 2 E's is for feminine people that are engaged. Who knew? Hooray! Super rare use case on that one, but now you know. Another one is that I did not know that Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco were 2 different bands. I didn't really have an emo phase, I guess. I listened to Paramore, but that was about it. And I still, to this day, could not tell you if I hear a Fall Out Boy song that I don't know or a Panic at the Disco song that I don't know, I could not tell you which band it belonged to. And this one actually has become an inside joke between Carter and me because sometimes we're in the car or whatever and he'll put on Fall Out Boy and I'll be like, oh, what's this Panic at the Disco song? I've never heard it. And he'll be like, it's Fall Out Boy. And I'm like, what? Really? They sound exactly the same. Yikes for me. The 4th thing on my list is that I did not know that baby carrots are not actually grown as little cylindrical baby carrots. If you didn't know this as well, they are formed from ugly carrots. Basically, they're shaved down to be that shape of a baby carrot. What? How does someone determine what's an ugly carrot? And I personally think that there is a difference in taste between a baby carrot and a normal carrot. I think if you cut up a carrot into little snack-sized wedges that you dip into something like buffalo chicken dip, and then you take a baby carrot out of the bag and dip it into buffalo chicken dip, they taste different. They taste different. Maybe ugly carrots also taste worse. R.I.P. ugly carrots. Okay, and my final gap in knowledge came up when my husband and I were playing 20 Questions, and he was trying to get me to guess Grover from Sesame Street. So at this point in our game, I have identified that it's a blue character, that it's a children's character, that it's not a cartoon, right? I'm narrowing it down. And I guessed, oh, is it Gonzo from the Muppets? And Carter says no. And I'm stuck for like 20 minutes and can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. And so he finally has to tell me, like I gave up, and he tells me, oh, it's Grover. And I'm like, Grover? At some point in my head, Grover and Gonzo merged into being the same in my memory. And I did not know that they were 2 different characters. I mean, they have a lot in common. They're both Muppets, they're both blue, they're both children's characters, they both have alter egos, and they both kind of sound the same, right? They have this like, grovelly sound. I've never tried to do a Gonzo or a Grover, and now we know why. So anyway, those are my gaps in knowledge and some of my husband's. I'm really curious if you have learned some as you've gotten older. Please tell me what they are. I want to learn. I want to learn. Maybe I have the same gap in knowledge and I just don't know it yet. So comment below if you have any gaps in your knowledge that you've learned. I want to know. If you liked what you saw, please give this video a big thumbs up and please hit that subscribe button. My current goal is to hit 100 subscribers and I would really appreciate if you helped me get there. This so far has just been a hobby for me. Making videos is a lot of fun, but I have goals to hopefully make money off of YouTube someday. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I wanna make money from YouTube someday. And I can't do that unless I have 1,000 subscribers. So I know I'm pretty far away from that, but it's just one little click at a time. So if you would consider helping me out, that would be great. Okay, that is all I have for you this week. I hope you have a lovely rest of whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you next week. Bye!